Namaste and Annyeonghaseyo. Welcome to yet another session of the ongoing series of interactive session on various scholarship programs for higher studies in South Korea by Indian students and researchers in Korea, that is Isrk. My name is Manas Biswal, a research scholar in pursuing PhD in Pukyong National University, Busan, South Korea. Just for your information about Isrk, it is a voluntary support group for all Indian students and researchers in Korea, organized for educational, research, jobs, social, recreational, and community service purposes. Our mission is to establish the largest community of Indian students and researchers in Korea with strong engagement and interaction opportunities. Our vision is to promote a better life for Indian students and researchers in Korea. In the last session, we have discussed on the UST program, and those who have missed it can watch the recorded session on YouTube on the Isrk channel. Also, you are encouraged to join our Telegram and Facebook page for more interaction, not only on scholarships, but also on various activities related to travel, study, living, and so on. So today's session is on about university and professor-funded scholarships in Korea. Various universities have their own scholarship programs, and apart from that, their professors have their own projects and seek various international students for their ongoing research. In this session, we are joined by various research scholars who will guide us on how to apply for university and professor-funded scholarships. Please welcome Ms. Sikha Dubey, who is pursuing PhD in Gwangju Institute of Science and Technology, Gwangju. In fact, she is also the student ambassador for Indians there. Next, we have with us is Mr. Bipin Menon. Mr. Menon is also a PhD scholar at Hanyang University, Seoul. Our next member is Ms. Nutan Shukla. Ms. Shukla is also a PhD scholar at Samyuk University, Seoul. Our last member for this session is Mr. Prashant Sharma. Mr. Sharma is pursuing his PhD program at Kwangwon University in Seoul. Now, we'll move for our introduction with the members. Before starting that, let me tell you that question and interaction session with the members can be carried out at the end of the session. I therefore request you not to ask in the middle of the session. However, you are open to question in the chat box at any time of the session. We will try to answer your questions simultaneously. Now, I hand over the session to Ms. Sikha Dubey. Sikha, please.
Thank you, Manas. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, everyone. Annyeonghaseyo, namaskar. I am Sikha Dubey. Currently, I am pursuing my PhD at Gwangju Institute of Science and Technology, GIST, which is a very well-known institute in Korea. I'm also a student PR ambassador right now, and I'm glad you all joined today's session, and I hope our interaction will help you all and motivate you to join Korean institutes. So today I'm here to share my experience about studying in Korea and how did I apply and how I came here. So first I came Korea as an intern student from my university. I got selected as an intern in Korea, and then while pursuing my internship, I got to know more about Korea, Korean Institute, and how is the lab environment here, and how are the professors, how things work here. And I got pretty impressed with the facility they provide, the scholarships they provide. And then I started contacting professors in Korea, and luckily I got accepted as PhD student in here. Then I joined my PhD here. But okay, before going into more deep, first I would like to share some facts about Korea, like why should we choose and why should we come here to study and these kind of stuff. And later I will go in more details about applications procedure at GIST. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Can you all see the screen?
Yes, visible.
Okay, thank you. So this session is mainly about the university funded scholarships and what professor funds. These kind of scholarships we're going to talk about. So These procedures are common for most of the institute and universities in Korea. So first questions come when you graduate and you go for higher studies, you plan something and to go to other countries, then you start thinking, which country should I choose and why should I choose this country? So that's why I'm sharing few statistics here to convince you guys about the facts, the Korea, why should we choose Korea over other institute or other countries? So these are the facts from Bloomberg. In 2021, it was indexed at like this. This is the indexing of world top 60 most innovative economical countries, and Korea is here ranked as first in overall. So this data was provided by the Bloomberg, and so we can see like this is most promising and future technology based country. And here the other statistics is about, it is published by Nature Indexing, and how the Korean government and Korea spend, how much money they spend yearly to promote the research and development. So as we can see from the graph, Korea is in top second ranking in overall the world, where the government is spending highest percentage of the GPA for research department. So they're mainly motivated to do the research. So I really recommend the people who want to do the research, they can choose one of the options as Korea, because this is Korean government is supporting a lot for the research, as we can see from the statistics, and it is from the Nature Indexing. Then other thing, we also think about how is the life in Korea, how are the people living here, because you are going out of the country and you start thinking other things as well, not only the statistics and all these things, but the daily life related thing. You're going to be safe there or not, and how is the crime rate, and how many international students are there, and these kind of stuff you think before choosing any country to study for further. So according to this indexing or this graph, we can see the safety rate is pretty high compared to other countries. So, and even the crime rate is very low compared to other countries. And maybe that is the reason, like the Korean government supporting its students and crime rate and safety things, these are cumulative, like motivating the student, international student to apply here. And that's why it's rapidly increasing year by year. The international students are joining Korean universities, as we can see from the bar graph, where every year the student coming to Korea is increasing. Other thing comes, okay, so safety is there and government is supporting, but what about the general life there? Is there anything like entertainment? What is the culture? What is the society? If I will be fit there or not? If they will accept in their society and things? But there are a lot of things to do in Korea. Like they are globally known for their rich culture across all over the world, and there are several beautiful places to visit. For your entertainment purpose, for your travel time, you can visit so many places. And Korea is really beautiful. I have been to so many places so far, and I really enjoy visiting places here. And the culture is very rich, and the traditional culture is also, people are still following that. And maybe when you will arrive in Korea, you will know more about the culture things, Korean culture. And so according to the indexing and French futurologist, they also predicted how Korea gonna be in the future, how the technology and culture, energy and everything, how it's gonna be in future for South Korea. And they predicted until 2025, Korea will be one of the Asia's leading powers in overall the world. And GDP will also be double from as compared to present. Okay, so these were the very general informations just to motivate you all, like how why should we choose Korea and these kind of stuff. So these statistics I presented just to motivate you all and to make your decision more clear. And the other thing comes like the higher education in Korea. What is the procedure and how the Korean universities and colleges works, what programs they offer. So generally most of the institute, they offer exchange student program and degree program like master's, undergrad, and doctorate. And they also have summer and winter program. And they also, for if the international student, they have classes in English. And if you want to learn Korean language, actually they provide Korean language courses as well. And mostly universities in Korea, they exempt the tuition fee, most of them. We're going to discuss in little detail about few of the universities as we have speakers to talk about these things. But I'm going to give you the general figure, how generally these Korean universities work. So most of them, they exempt the tuition fee. And if they are not, they actually cover 80% of the tuition fee. And for graduate student, mostly it's exempted. It comes undergraduate, they have like 30% covering and 80% covering, but it also has different financial support, which I will talk about later, and about just like the current university institute I'm studying it, and I will talk about that in detail. So generally the applications for Korean universities open twice in a year, like for 2 semesters. So one is a spring semester and another one is fall semester. For a spring semester, which starts generally from March starting, the application opens from September to November. And for the fall semester, the application opens from April to June. The fall semester starts generally from September. And now I will talk about more about my experience at GIST and how I apply. These were the statistics I gave to figure out why to choose Korea and what is so general. What is the structure general universities follows. Now all of us, like all the speakers for this session, we will talk about particularly about our institute. So I am from GIST, Gwangju Institute of Science and Technology. So I will talk more about GIST Institute. And I will share my screen right now for giving a detailed instructions for application. So, 1 second. Okay. And I will also share the links for all of it. So this is the website for GIST. And I will share in the chat box later all the links so that it will be easier for all of you to apply. So this is GIST website. And here they have, you can see in the admission section, we have international undergraduate admission. Okay, so first, when it comes to this, I would also like to talk about, like this year just started taking students for undergrad as well. And this is really good opportunity because they are providing all the funding and everything. So before they were only taking international students for graduate admission, means masters and PhD. But this year for 2021, they started undergrad as well. So these are the programs just provide for international students: undergrad, graduate, student exchange application, and GIP. GIP is Global Intern Program. So I will talk in brief for all these application admission process. And before that, okay, so these are the academics we have here at GIST. School of Engineering and Computer Science, Material Science, Mechanical Engineering, School of Earth Science and Environmental Engineering, Life Sciences, Physics and Chemistry, Institute of Integrated Technology, Department of Biomedical Engineering, Nanobiology, Material and Electronics, and Artificial Intelligence Graduate School too. So these are the common schools where you all can apply, and the programs, like I talked about undergrad, graduates, and these things, I'm going to talk in more in brief for most of it. So first one is, as I mentioned, this year just also opened the program for undergrad. So, eligibility for undergrad is, first of all, you should be graduated from 12th standard. If you are not, and if you're going to be graduate before September, still you can apply. So there's no foundation about it. The things you are required, first I will tell you about the timeline, because the deadline for undergrad admission is before graduate admission. That's why I'm mentioning undergrad before graduate admission. So the time period it will finish, the application will finish before March 15. Still, you all have 1 week to apply for it, for undergrad admission. And then they will declare the result during late June, and then the semester will start from September. And this is the site where they have given the detailed structure how to apply for undergrad and everything, like application process, step by step. They have given all the details. So the required documents, mostly people always talk about what we require and how can we apply. They're going to ask so many documents and all. But because of the, first of all, because of the COVID, there are so many restrictions. So they also loosen the required document. Like they were very strict about it, but now they are considering COVID situation. So they have loosened up so many documents required. So, but these are the mandatory documents which are required. One recommendation letter, high school profile, your transcript. And for English proficiency test, there is no minimum requirement. You just need to submit. If you are like non-speaking English country, but yeah, we are from India, we are also required to submit that. And but there is no minimum limit for this for undergrad. Right now, I'm talking about undergrad admission, and I will go in more detail for graduate admission later. And for the passport, before they were requiring passport for applicant and parents both. But now they have loosened up this condition. They also mentioned like you can submit your parents, if you don't have the passport, you can submit the national ID of your parents and you can apply with that. And a statement of financial resources, anything, your family bank statement, your father's or your parents' bank statement, you can just apply through that. And these are the optional things they required, honors and award, like what awards you got. Did you get any other scholarship during your school or anything? This is optional, but I would recommend to mention it because this will increase your acceptance probability. So, and then here it comes the apply thing. So when you go to apply, when you click to apply, and here it will open this login page and you can sign up. You can, through using email and other stuff, you can sign up. Then here is, we can see on the screen, there is admission guide, which can guide you in more details. And then from this thing, you can apply. And after application, using the application result tab, you can check your application status. Okay, so this was very brief about undergrad admission, but I think I would more talk about the graduate program because I came as graduate student here, not undergrad, but so maybe I will talk more about the graduate program. So this is the link. This is the website for the graduate admission. And in degree program for graduate school, just provide MS, Master of Science, Doctor of Philosophy, integrated MS and PhD programs. So I came as PhD student. I joined PhD student. So my procedure for joining, as I mentioned before, I came Korea as intern, then I joined PhD. So that was maybe additional point for me because I got to know a little more about the Korean lab, Korean professors, and life, how is the life and how's the study structure. So those were my positive point, and that's why I decided to join GIST. And that's why I'm here to share my experience so that you can directly go and apply for it, and it can help. My experience can help you. So what I did, so before sharing my experience, I would also like to mention, you don't need to go through any agent or any agency to apply in Korean university or institute. You can actually approach by yourself, like I did. I applied to the professors and institute directly by myself. I didn't take any help from any agency or anyone. So it was all like efforts which I made, and maybe it will help you guys. So then I approached professor, the labs which I liked, and then I contacted those professors. And so the labs which I were interested in, and then I got accepted from one of the labs, and I joined as PhD student after the interview and these things, after talking with professor, and I joined my PhD. So there is other point comes, do we require paper or like journal paper or conference paper or these kind of stuff for PhD program? But personally, when I was applying for PhD program, I didn't have any conference paper or journal paper, but I had some experience in internship. I had internship TIFR, I hope you all are well aware about it, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and I had very good grades in my until my master's. So, and then I also did my internship in Korea. So these all were like positive points for me to increase my probability of getting accepted in PhD. So I think the way you will make your profile is strong, you will present yourself as strong, the possibility of you getting accepted will increase. So don't give a thought about the paper thing. Oh, I don't have paper, I cannot apply for PhD program right now. Maybe I should publish, then I should apply. So I will suggest, please don't stop yourself from thinking this way. You still can apply. There is no, just you need to make your strong CV, a strong profile, and in the interview, present yourself very well and try to communicate with professors and what it clearly, like what you want to do and things, all these kind of things. So okay, if we come to the website, here are the programs. These are the department I mentioned before, and I applied in School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. So if you want to go and want to know more detail about the institute or like which lab you want to search, so you can just go and click at the school like this, like mechanical engineering. Just suppose we are going here. So here we can see School of Mechanical Engineering and professors here, people here, faculty. Just go and check the professors and their profile and their lab details according to your interest. If their work is related to your interest or not. If it is, and just send them email. Okay, you can also directly apply through the admission process, but if you want to increase like your acceptance rate, then I recommend you to contact the professor directly before admission process, like I did. I actually contacted to the professor directly, and after they agreed after the interview, then I applied to the institute. So that's how you can get to know about the professor and their lab, and just choose according to your interest and apply. And okay, so the other thing comes, what are the required documents while you're applying? So the application is online, and you just need to submit your transcript, diploma, and 2 letters of recommendation is required for graduate program. These are the links I will share in the chat room after my presentation. So it will help you all. And 2 letters of recommendation from the institute where you graduated, your professor who knows you very well. They have to submit the recommendation letter by themselves when you apply. They have also given the format. And English proficiency test is required here. The minimum score for TOEFL is 80, and for IELTS it's 6.5 band, and TOEIC 750, TEPS 600, and new TEPS is 327. But test must be taken within 2 years before the deadline date. Other thing, you can also get accepted as conditional accepted. Means you can come here after getting admission, and within 6 months, you can submit your English proficiency test. In my case, what I did, I actually took the English score before, and I just submitted before my admission. But I know people who also come as conditional acceptance, and they submit within 6 months. So that is also possible. The English score you can submit as later. Like here it is mentioned, conditional admissions, if you can see. And the copy of applicant's passport. And okay, so when you get admission, there is a fee you have to submit, which is around $700, like 700,000 Korean won. And if I say in Indian currency, it will be across 40,000 Indian rupee. But there's one more thing. It can be like you can get waived those fee if you apply this document. Like they have given the format, and it can be get issued by a university. But this thing comes after you get admission. This fee you have to submit after you get admission. Otherwise, the application and these things are free. And in my case, actually, I was a student here, means already intern here. So I couldn't go to my institute in India, back in India. So I didn't apply for this. So I paid for this, but there are a lot of students, they come through this fee waiver. They didn't pay any fee for this. So this is totally free. So when the other things come, when you come to different country, is like, how is the financial support? What are they providing? So here we can see the financial support. So just as providing tuition fee support, there is no tuition fee you have to pay. It is it is waived by Korean government. So, and these are the stipends we get from Korean government to just as actually government institute. So most of the funding is from government. That's why the fee is waived, and allowances are great, more than other institutes like that. So they give student allowances, meal allowances, and you also get additional allowances as your international student, which is 120,000 Korean won. And meal allowances will be 100,000. Student allowances is 140,000 if you're a master's student, and 295,000 if you're a PhD student. And additional to that, this is not only the scholarship you get. Actually, your professor, which you joined, the lab you joined, they also provide you few scholarship from the lab. So you actually get two kind of scholarships. One is from Korean Government Institute, like the list I have listed. Like it will be around 600,000 Korean won from the Korean government, like 500 something. And for master, it will be around 400 something. But you also additionally get a scholarship from, or you can say salary from professor, from lab, from the project you are participating in. And it varies from lab to lab, but minimum for PhD, like average PhD student get 100,000, 1 million Korean won. And master students get 700,000 Korean won. If we think in Indian figure, then okay, PhD student minimum they will get around 60,000 Indian rupee, and master student will minimum get around 40,000 Indian rupee. So that is minimum, and more than that they also get according to their lab. It's totally depends on their lab. If they are getting more, there are many students, they get more. And so these are the stipend and everything they are providing. There's one more interesting thing here at GIST. Like the housing at GIST is very low compared to other institutes all over in Korea. Like they are providing very, very cheap dormitory and very full equipped dormitory. It's very good dormitory, but the fee is very low. Even I have asked so many institutes in Korea, they don't have such lower fee dormitory. Like monthly allowance, monthly fee is 65,000, 75,000. They also have apartments for married student, so you can also go for that. Like married student can also get their own apartment. So, and there's health insurance. 80% of the health insurance is supported by GIST, and it is mandatory for all international students right now. You will get annual checkup and everything. And okay, when you are coming first at Korea, the other thing is financial thing, right? As I mentioned before. So the flight reimbursement. So you will actually get the flight when you come here. You will get flight reimbursement. You will get a medical checkup. You will get the dormitory. Dormitory is a hospital, and there are so many other facilities which just provide. So basically, if you get exempted, fee waived from first like 600,000, then you don't have to pay anything. Just as supporting all the way it can as financially. So there will be no burden as financially on you. You will be fully dependent on yourself. You don't need to ask your parents or anything. So far, I haven't asked any money from my parents. I'm totally dependent on myself and just as providing like all the facility I'm needed. So these are the things which can motivate you all to apply here. And the application, as I mentioned about the deadlines, let me see the deadlines here. Let me show you the deadlines here. So for graduate student, they accept 2 times. Graduate, I mean master's and PhD or integrated. So for a spring semester, which already started in March, the deadline is October 15, and the fall semester, the deadline is April 15. So the right now applications are open, and I recommend you all to start applying for it if you want to come to GIST. And the acceptance results you will get at mid-July, and the registration will start in July, early June. And then the semester will start, the fall semester will start in September. So right now, if you want to apply, you can apply for fall semester, which means September 2021. Same as the undergrad admission too. So right now applications are open. If you want, you can apply for it. There is whole procedures, everything is given online. I'm just sharing my experience to make it easier for you all. So, and I will share all the links, don't worry about it. I will share in the chat box, all of them, so it will be easier. The other thing which is popular in GIST is global intern program. There is internship program. So right now the application for internship program is also open. This internship program is for undergrad and master students. So whoever is in last year of undergrad or first year of master student, they can apply for it. And in this case also, they are providing you monthly stipend, and you will get reimbursement of flight and like same and free accommodation. So there will be no accommodation fee for GIP, just intern program. So these applications are also open right now. So if you are interested in internship program, you can apply for this too. And there is exchange student program, and I cannot talk more about this because we have other speakers too who are going to share their experience about their admission and everything. So I will make it a little short right now because we need to know more about other institute as well. But to make it easier, I will share all these links on the chat box. Don't worry about it. But after the all speakers presentation, we can move on to if you have any questions regarding GIST admission or life in Korea related, like how is the life here, you can ask us. And right now I will ask Vipin to share his experience in his institute or university and how did he come. So thank you everyone. Vipin, can you please share your experience?
Thank you, Shika. Thank you for introducing me. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants who are here, who took their time and who came to visit us, who came for this interactive session, and who would like to know more about learning and living in Korea. As my friend Shika has already told a lot of things about Korea, I will tell you more about my personal experience and how I got into it. I believe that this would help you get some idea how to get the things or how to actually get the admission process cracked, which is quite a challenge, especially coming from our country, because we as Indians, we have a very standard protocol, how we interact with our professors, how we interact with our seniors, or how we even interact with our company fellows, which is quite different from how we do the process with Korean professor or Korean companies. So here specifically talking about the universities and professors, I'll be focusing on that. So the first thing, let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm presently doing a PhD in computational biology. I'm using artificial intelligence in my subject to understand more about the biology behind or the intrinsic mechanism of uh, the biological cells or cancer cells that has been that we have been doing about. But before that, there was some pre-studies involved. So let me talk about a bit about it. So I completed my master's from SRM University, and then I got an internship opportunity in US. So in US, I did a 6 months internship. In that internship, I was able to understand the research atmosphere, how the research actually happens, or what are the conditions that is required for research. So when I did my 6 months internship there, then I came back to India, and instead of directly applying for a PhD, I went for a junior research fellowship in IIT Indore. And there I carried on my research that I was doing in US. So it was actually a boon that I could I could really interact or really have an effect how to club those two researchers. Then when I completed my research, the experience taught me that for a research to be or for a PhD student to be, you need to have first focus about how the research atmosphere would be there. Basically, what happens is that a lot of our Indian students who actually pass out from their masters and they go to PhD, they don't have a research experience. They have a study experience, and their theory is really good. There is no doubt about it. But when you talk about research, it's not just about theory, it's about your basic practical experience, how you handle the things. The practical experience that I'm talking about is the negative results that you are going to face every time when you're doing the research. So how you're going to face it. This internship provides you that opportunity, that how to face these kind of problems. Because in internship, the professor will give you a topic, or maybe he will ask you to join a PhD student and to help him out. In that process, you will learn how the research is done. So when you do that, I would also tell you that when I was doing these kind of things, I completed that research, and I was able to find out that the research atmosphere requires a lot of calm mind to actually do it. So during that process, one of my colleagues, he told me that, especially in Asian countries like South Korea, Japan, there is a lot of opportunities because they are spending a huge amount of their resources on R&D development. So why don't you try for it? So I applied for it. So when I was doing internship in US and in India, I had a good contact with my professors. So I inquired with them, and they said that it's a good call that you try to see the research areas that they are working and the research area that you wanted to work. So I want to tell my participants, I was working on a completely in biology, but on a completely different field. I was working more on work required on the computational part of the protein, and then I completely switched to the genetics. So when I mailed to the different professors, as Shikha has told in her session that you could mail to different professors, I happened to first interact with a professor from SNU. So the professor was interested, but he told me the timing or the session was completed for that semester. And he asked me that you should apply for some scholarship like Korean scholarship or anything which could be helpful for me to come here. And I would get that because of the internship opportunities that I've got through. But when I applied for Hanyang University, and at the same time I got my publication also, I had some interviews that were lined up. In one of those interviews, the professor had a technical and a personal interview. And here are the things what happens, which is important. In the technical interview, if you have a publication, the amount of time that would happen in the technical interview is quite shorter when you don't have a publication. That what makes it very bit different. A technical interview, because in publication, they know, okay, you have done that, you have some expertise, you have some experience, and that's why you are able to publish it. But when you don't have a publication, then they wanted to assess as much how good you are. And that would take a bit more time. So their patience is also tested. That what you say, whether you're able to answer. If you're not able to answer, just straight away no, it would be suffice, because you have to be very accurate with your knowledge. Then once the technical interview was done, then the personal interview comes. And here I would like to tell to the participants, in personal interview, my professor was very much clear how much he's going to pay me. So at that point, he told me that he is going to pay me for my PhD, that is 12 million won, 1.2 million won, sorry, and per month. And in that, I would be transferred to the BK21 scholarship, which is actually the professors do that. If you have good grades and if you have good publication, they will automatically transfer you there. And in that, your tuition fees will be reduced, and you will be paying, or means the professor will be paying the rest of the tuition fee for you. But once you have that understanding, that he told me that for the first 2 years, he will pay me 1.2 million won, and then he would increase $200 every year till I get my PhD. And his requirement for PhD was that it would require 5 years he wanted me to spend in the lab. So you have to be pretty much clear about what you want. If you're okay with that, go ahead, but you have to talk everything. For example, there's suppose a lot of people who have come across here, they said that we would like to have a home, because the cooking here or having food outside is expensive. Most of the people who come from India are vegetarians, so it's very difficult for them to have food outside because it's purely non-veg. So for them, you could definitely talk with your professor, where he could help you to get some housing. It could help you to get some deposit and get a housing, so that you can have your own kitchen, cook yourself, and get the food that you want. So this is what you have to be very much clear with your professor. You have to be completely frank with him, that this is the things that I want, and this is how this is what I can provide to you. In terms of research, when it comes to research, one thing you have to always remember, that you have to be really punctual, because their work ethics is very much related to their military life. All the Korean professor, except the lady professor, they have undergone military training for 3 years. It is a very compulsory military training. So they are very, very peculiar about their timings, that if they say that you have to come from 9 to
Vipin,
6, you have to go through 9 to 6.
Can you hear me, Vipin?
Yeah.
Vipin, sorry to interrupt. Just you can share your website and other things related. We are running short of time. We have interactive sections.
Okay, sure. So once this criteria is very much clear, then you can definitely look into the research part of it. For the research part, let me share you my screen, where I could show you the Hanyang University, which I am working. So here you could see there is an admission guide, where is in Hanyang University. You have the admission process. You can go through the admission guide, and this admission guide has the international education which you could pass through. In the admission guide, they have 2 campuses. One is the Seoul campus and one is Erika campus. I am at Seoul campus, where I would go to, you can log into the hanyang.ac.kr. And the international admission, I would personally say that all of you should contact them. They can speak English, and they can definitely clear all your doubts regarding to their admission. But also, you could go into the their own website, which is basically oia.hanyang.ac.kr, and they have an English version of the booklet, where you can download it, and you can get all the details, what you want in the application, what you want in the process, how the process has to be done, which is quite similar to what Shikha has told, but the timings would be a bit different, and those timings you can get here without any issues. You have Korean, English, and a Chinese version, and I would prefer that you would be going with the English version, and you could go forward with it. The most important thing is about the tuition fees, that basically, because Hanyang University is a private university, so they have a different tuition fees for that. So for each department, you have a completely different tuition fees. So I am from the physical science department. So for my doctorate, I had to pay approximately $6,500. And if you're an undergraduate, you can pay $4,220. It based on this money, you can get your scholarship, and your professor could provide. Usually In doctorate, the professor worry about it. In both doctorate and masters. In bachelors, mostly in our university, bachelors are comparatively lower compared to masters and doctorate. So I can give you a very fair about these, that most of this will be solved by your own professor. Having said this, there are different scholarships that has come about, which is Hanyang gives their own types of scholarship. One is like HISP, then Hanyang scholarship for engineering and science students, then GC scholarship, industrial scholarship, then BK21 scholarships, so on and so forth. These scholarships are basically basically given based on the professor's recommendation. So it's always that you have to first email the professor and he will recommend which of these scholarship you would get into. Mostly you will get into any one of these scholarships, and if you get into BK21 scholarship, if you get a research published, you have a very good incentives. But that is for the later time to talk about what kind of incentives you can get about it. So this is basically the Hanyang's portfolio that Hanyang University has it. And if you have any queries, you can definitely message in the chat box and we will clear it. And also you can log into our Facebook or Telegrams, and we will always be there to help you out. So moving on, I will give it to my other friend Prashant, and he will talk about his experiences in Korea. Moving on to Prashant.
Vipin, you can stop your screen. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. This screen is visible?
Yes, please.
So welcome back to another session of ISRK. So as my friend already told about the PhD fellowship and living costs and all these things, now I will show you how I approached here. And before that, I will give a brief introduction about myself. Myself, Prashant Sharma, and I did BTech in biotechnology in India. And then after did BTech, I approached professor directly, and now I'm doing the MS and PhD. I completed MS and now continuing my PhD here in Kwangwon University. As my screen is visible, I open my university page, and then you can go to the Kwangwon University. This is all about admission procedures. Here you can see undergrad, grad, and spring semester, how we can apply there. So now I will show you there are different departments in my university for the grad school. So here I will show you electronics engineering, electronic communication, electrical engineering, electronics material, computer engineering, chemical engineering, robotics, environmental, and so on. There are so many departments here. So I applied in electronic engineering. So basically I am working on biomarker detection using electronic devices. I'm working on different biomarker detection using devices for the prostate cancer, corona, Alzheimer disease, and so on. So this is a department of electronic engineering, as you can see here. So introduction, and you can go with the faculty member profile. Here you can see name of the professor, positions, and email of all the professor, how to approach to professor. You have to write a good cover letter and the CV. As my friend already told you about what you should have before experience of paper and internship, all the things matter as I experienced here. So here the faculty profile, you can check the profile name and the email. You can approach with your cover letter and CV. So I will show you my lab profile. This is RFIC. Basically, we are working so different domains here. So you can open the lab and go to the professor's profile and check the research expertise. If you are getting professor research experience is same with your expertise, what you want to apply for, like PhD, so you can apply for that one with a good CV and cover letter. So this is what I'm doing here. fabricating the different devices. This is our recent publication for the prostate cancer detection. So I will show you another lab. If you like, you want to do different domain, you can search on Google like drug delivery lab in Korea. Here I opened a SNU lab. So other institute lab, I will show you how to approach and I will check the professor profile. He's a professor and you can go to the laboratory. And here we go. So you can check this nanomaterial bioapplications and so many applications. So after going that, you can check that recruit. So this is a basic criteria how we search for this lab is having the vacancy or not. So you can see this lab is having so many vacancies. You can approach to professor for the positions of MS, PhD, and integrated PhD program for the biosensor, bioimaging, drug delivery, and so on. So this is a common procedures. I will also show you one more profile, like how to check that one. This is another lab for the post-tech. So you can go with the professor link and find the email, check the laboratory web link and check that professor interest or professor lab papers using Google Scholar and ResearchGate. Then you can find that your research interest is matching with professor work or not. Then as per your research interest, you can find the professor and apply with the CV and cover letter. If you have any query, you can ask in chat box. So now I will hand over to next colleague, Nutan. Hello.
Prashant, you can stop your screen sharing.
Okay, thank you, welcome. Thank you so much for joining our session.
Nutan, are you there? Hello, Nutan.
Unmute yourself.
Nutan, are you in mute? First, can you please unmute Nutan?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Nutan, you have echo. Can you please correct it?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Nutan, please.
Hello.
Yeah, Nutan, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Nutan, please go ahead. We are hearing you.
Hello, can you hear me?
We are hearing you, Nutan.
Yeah, okay. So I am Nutan Shukla, and actually my experience is a little bit different as compared to other students here. So first of all, I would like to tell about my experience, and then I will tell you about my university information. Since my video has some technical issues, it's not working. So I'm going to continue in this manner. So actually my major in master's was medical biotechnology, but however, moving on later, I got interest into research field of drug delivery. So like everyone of my other friends have mentioned that you can approach professor and you can contact them or you can email them. It is the same procedure for everyone others. And I also did the same thing. Although I was a student from microbiology and biotech, my interest was drug delivery. So I started writing some of the research proposal, which composed of some of the chemistry synthesis and other information. So let me tell you all that whenever you want to plan to take admission in PhD, first of all, you should be very much clear about the ideas that reflect your research, and also it should relate to your professor. So this will enhance your chance of application and selection of your research and your acceptance in PhD. So moving on to one of my, okay, let me explain. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
So my university name is Samyuk. This is Seoul-based university. So like this university is almost 114 years of old. And secondly, there are different departments. So my major department is convergent science. And in convergent science, I have joined the chemistry lab. So here you can see on my screen the different information regarding the admission procedure. So as of now, the admission schedule is already updated on the website of my university, which is the application process is going to start by June, and interview section. After once you apply for the application, you will have a small interview section. It would be directly by the phone or it will be directly video chat. The university will already inform you. And then after interview, whether you are selected or it's not accepted, they will inform you. About the tuition payment, it is different for different section, different department, and different subjects. So when, for example, if you want to apply for master program, the fee structure is something different. However, when it comes to combine, like integrated PhD and master, it is again different. For PhD, the tuition fee is completely waived off by professor. So in my case, I didn't have to pay any tuition fee. I just received stipend directly from my professor. So it is case by case, because some of the government institutions, they pay by government, and some of the private universities, the professor offer us this stipend. So there are various requirements like application format. There is you need to, before applying, you should be clear about your self-introduction, your study plan. As I mentioned before, that the clear picture of your research is also very important. So what you want to do, which lab you want to join, you should be very much clear and precise. Second, the letter of consent and the information collection and agreement. So these are the requirements. Also, some official documents. So once you have registered and you clarify your interview, you need to transfer money via India to the bank information they provide. Or also, if any query is there, you can directly email to the admin department, which is given here. Besides PhD and master program, my university is also good for Korean language. So most of the students from different sections of India, like from Nepal and other countries like Nepal and some other states in our country, they have joined my university in, I think, last 2 years for language program. Yeah. But for language program, there is no scholarship, so you need to pay by yourself. However, other courses, like you can see here, MS, PhD, and MS in different combined and other courses, the fee structure is given on the website. Also, you can download the brochure here, and then you'll get the whole information. Sometimes if professor is not responding or any other, so you can directly first email to admin department for concerned documents and for application process. Most of the cases, professor don't allow you to help, or you can say not help you about the application process. So you need to keep on tracking the admin department of the university. Also, very important thing is about do not consulting any of the consultant in India or anywhere. You can directly visit to the professor's profile and you can directly email them by preparing some of the small research proposal or some of the small, what is your interest and how you can collaborate, how you can accommodate, or how you can add on your research idea, how you can help to them. So if you have any questions, you can ask, and I'm going to share my university's email or link, and then let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Sikha. Thank you, Bipin. Thank you, Prasant. Thank you, Nutan, for sharing information and process for university and professor-funded scholarships. Participants are now requested to ask their individual questions to the members, if they have any. We will continue our interactive sessions for some more time. Host, can you please unmute the members? participants.
I have a question to Shika.
Yes.
Yeah, Shika, here for undergraduates, there is a time period, Jan to March, right?
March 15, yes.
Yeah, yes. But my kid is now studying intermediate first year in Andhra Pradesh, India. So the results are coming maybe May.
May
Shall we
for
apply? Yeah.
for
Shall we
12th?
apply that?
For 12th?
Yes, 12th.
Okay.
12th.
Yeah. Still they can
Yes.
apply if they're gonna graduate before August 2021. They can still apply. They just need to submit the transcript from last semester, or like half yearly exam or any other exam they have given so far. They can submit those transcripts and submit the document like stating that this student gonna graduate before August 2021 from the school.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
And almost one more thing I saw in the website,
Yes.
30% tuition fee need to pay, right?
No. In just all tuition fee will be waived.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
My question is from Shikha again. I wanted to ask.
Yes.
I wanted to ask. Like I was applying for some national universities in Korea, and one of the thing which I came across is this topic, test in proficiency in Korean language. I don't have that actually, and is it necessary to get admission? Yes. Yes, please.
Okay. For GIST, actually, this is not required. The Korean efficiency test is not required for GIST. If you have, that is additional thing, but professor, they don't consider from a student to give topic. Means English scores are required, not Korean one. So you don't need to worry about that.
In your university, it is not mandatory, right?
No. I didn't give any topic.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Oh, welcome.
Shika?
Yes, please.
For undergraduate, there is a compulsory GPRA is something like that, or which percentage is enough to apply for the undergraduate?
So it's 3.0, which is based on out of 4.5.
You're talking about IELTS or 12th standard GPRA?
So here they consider the GPA out of 4.5. So you have to convert your GPA or your percentage into a scale of 4.5.
Okay.
So yeah. The scaling is here different.
Hello.
It's 4.5 band. Yes.
Okay.
I have question to Manas Vishal sir. Sir, what is the procedure to apply PDF in Korean university?
PDF you can apply as usual, like you apply for the professor for PhD. Similar is for the PDF, but it depends. All of the professors cannot provide PDFs, and they are limited, and it depends who is searching for whom. And for any PDF program, if it is available, we are updating in our Telegram group also. You can join there so that we can give you more information on a live daily basis. PDF is directly like the same professor funding program. You just need to apply them individual to the professor.
Okay, sir.
Did you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You can. I will suggest you to join the Telegram group, because all the information regarding PDFs will be there.
Pradeep, actually,
Yes,
I want
sir.
to let you know one more thing. In next session, we have a KRF and Brain Pool Fellowship session. So you can also join that one for the PDF Fellowship, how to apply for PDF. So you can join that one.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question. How to write a mail to professors? Is there any procedures?
Sorry, how to write?
How to write a mail to the professor? How to approach
Mail
them?
to
He's
professors.
asking.
Okay, mainly when I was applying, so I actually checked the lab, and if it was similar to my research. So what I mentioned in my email, like I'm interested in this lab because of the research, and this is my research area, and ask about available vacancy in their lab, and if they're open for this semester or not, and convincing them that like stating and convincing them about our research, how strong we are, and these kind of stuff. So this was the email, and attached my CV with that and a statement of purpose.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hello,
Yes, please.
I have one question regarding the publications. Now, if we are doing any publications, so in which type of journals should it get published? Is it that it should be published in Scopus based, or UGC based is also good, like for publications?
So to
Hello?
answer your question, like in Korean universities, basically what happens is that they prefer SCI or SCIE, that is Scopus Indexed Expanded or Scopus Indexed. And they prefer that, and they give you graduation based on that. So whenever you have a publication and whenever they review your publication, they would always prefer the SCI and then SCIE. And lower than that, it's not that what is preferred among the professors.
Okay, and additional to this point, what been mentioned, for admission process, that is not mandatory. But to graduate in PhD, you're gonna need the journal, as I mentioned in my presentation as well. So.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
One more thing I would like to ask
Hello?
from all of you. Yes, hi. Can I ask a question?
Hello, sir.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir. This is Krishna Solanki, sir.
Yes,
Hello?
Krishna, please.
I'm audible, sir.
Yes,
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 please.
you are.
Sir, I have a sir, is there any program in agriculture or agriculture engineering related in any Korean university for PhD?
Yes, there is a program like in SNU. They have a campus in Pyeongchang. It's a place in Korea. They have dedicated that campus for agriculture research. You can just write SNU in Google, SNU Pyeongchang campus. I will put it into the chat box.
Please,
And and you can just log into it. Why I'm saying particularly about that campus is that because the government decided 3 years before that the improving the agriculture research is a need of hour for Korea, and they put a lot of investment in that, and a lot of plant and agriculture related research is happening at that place. It's a pure research based. Even though it's a university campus, but it's a pure research based campus. So you can look into that and you can contact them. And they prefer a lot of international students comparative to their main campus in Seoul. So you can definitely look into it. And I will give you the link site also.
Yes, sir. Please inbox it. Sir, I have another question. For PhD, is there any requirement of SCI paper? SCI or SCI?
No. There is no such requirement. But it depends, Professor.
For postdoc, sir? For postdoc,
yes.
is there any requirement?
Yes. Postdocs, it's there.
How many papers required, sir, minimum?
Depends on, depend on professor and depends on the subject that you are pursuing. For example, say if you are pursuing a hardcore biology or theoretical biology, number of papers would be less. But if you're going with an experimental biology or a more expert, combination of theoretical and experimental biology, then definitely the number of papers and the quality of papers will be high.
One more question, sir, please. How much is the fellowship in Indian currency in Korea, sir?
If you are going for a PhD and if you have negotiated well with your professor, you will get around 65 to 70,000 rupees. And you have to ask your professor about like living expenses and everything. So it is basically the negotiation. So minimum you will get 60 to 70,000 rupees in that range.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Manas
Sure,
sir,
sure.
VP Prashant sir, and Shikha.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
all of you.
sure. Additional to that, I also want to mention, because I know few friends who were from agriculture department here at just they applied at environmental engineering science. So because they also do some soil research and
my
water.
area of interest is spraying drones like that related.
Okay.
Spraying
Then
application.
okay, sure.
Krishna, there is one more institute in my university. It's called Plasma Biodisplay. So there are so many work is going on related to plant research. So you can also apply there.
Sir, could you please inbox everything?
Yeah,
It
I
would be
will.
good, sir.
I will send the name of the center.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very wonderful program.
Thank you.
Someone was asking more a question, but I think he was
Yes,
interrupted.
it is. Hi. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to ask you this question from all of you guys. It is not directly related to the admission. It is about this social life and all. Since a person who is applying for masters and all is somewhere going to spend around 5 years or so. So, are there any places in Korea where we should why I'm asking this question is because one of my friend is living in Jeju, and that place I have heard it is not like it is in very outskirts and all. So are there any places we should avoid and we should or places where we should look for universities where this social life thing is like okay and are getting me what I'm trying to ask?
Well, if I think I have to answer this, because as far I know, Korea is the lowest crime rate for both, means especially for girls. It's enough to say that you can have the good life even at 3 a.m. A lone girl can travel without any fear. And I
And
don't
that
know.
is really true, as I am girl here and I have experienced this. Korea is really safe. So there is no issue about safety. And that's why I'm motivating girls also to join, because parents, they first think about girl safety and other stuff, but I am assuring there will be no such thing. Yeah, Manas, please continue.
And about the social life, I am not sure which type of social life you're asking, but you can open up what you want to ask. Regarding communication with the Koreans, usually Koreans, they do not communicate because of the language barrier. Otherwise, you don't have to feel anything bad here. And some types of hiccups may come at instant, but that is not counted upon.
All right.
But okay, mainly in Seoul, most of the population, Korean population, they can communicate in English. But I will talk about my institute as well. Inside institute, there is no problem. Like the school office and the school staff, everybody means institute staff, everybody can communicate with you in English. There will be no such trouble. So that's why they offer Korean classes in institute, so that if you go outside of institute, so that you can communicate with like normal people, like outside of institute. So, and for me, I have been using even translators sometimes to communicate. So I think that if you are okay to overcome with these things and open to do the research, so I think these things will not be big issue at that moment.
And Shikha, one thing I would like to add your sentence, like there are some universities who is going to offer you language program along with your PhD. So starting years of the PhD, like first semester, 6 months, you can have the language program in the universities free of cost. It is provided by professor also, and sometimes it depends. So if someone is interested to get accepted by the university, the problem could be solved by learning the Korean language as well.
Even Korean government opens free Korean classes. There's no fee. Additional to that, institute also provides free Korean classes, and so there will be no issue for that.
Right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
And lastly, Jitendra, that as far as my experience goes, that in the university campus, you won't have much of an issue. And even in the Seoul itself, you won't have major issue, the cities that we are talking about. If you go to the
Soul
rural
is
side,
good.
yeah, if you go
Soul
to the
is good.
rural side as such, then the good thing about South Korea is that it's so well connected. Well connected, I would say, via internet and by other transports and communication, that you can just Google it out and you can help yourself out without much of an issues. So because I personally don't know much of a language, so I have been here for the past 3-4 years, and I can fairly tell you that it's not very easy to get accommodated and to live here. So don't worry about that.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
all.
sure.
Thank you all.
Any participants? More questions, please.
Hello,
Yes, please.
I want to do integrated master and PhD program in biotechnology. So I don't know where to apply. Like I don't know the particular university which I have to contact the professors. So I want anyone to suggest me some universities so I can contact the professors directly.
Okay, so for just I can suggest you the department for this field, and just we have biomedical engineering department. So there you can apply in your field. Just search for the labs you're interested in according to your research, and then try to apply. And maybe other speakers can tell about their institute. Thank you.
I would talk more general about it rather than a particular institute. So you have actually there are three famous university, that is, it's called SKY, Seoul National University, Korea University, Yonsei University, and there is one more off top, that is KAIST. And then we have our own university, it is Hanyang or any other universities. So the basic idea is that all these universities have combined master integrated PhD program, and all of them provides different type of scholarship. Now the main thing comes around is that what is your specific research area that you want to do. So in biotechnology itself is a very broad horizon area. Suppose you want to specifically about cancer cells, or you want to do specific about gene editing or something like that. So you have to focus on that, and based on that you have to scroll down the professors who are working on that particular field. And every professor, whether in any of the universities, they have some requirements. In their website, you can see their requirements. You can use Google Translate also if they're using the Korean version, but most of them have English version of their website. So once you get their requirement correct, you can apply to them. And that application can happen like between like in the beginning of January and in the beginning of May or June, you can apply to them, because during that time they have a more of a relaxed kind of atmosphere, because most of the research work is actually done or in the writing process. So that is the time like you can get a more amount of replies. So once you do that, you can definitely get some of the professors help you out with that.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello. Please get me to how to find out the individual process lab in Konkan University from the main university website. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Members,
can you just repeat your question?
Could you repeat your question?
Yeah, how to find out the process labs from the main university website, Konkan University, Konkan.
Okay. So most
He's
of
asked-
the professors' profile are already updated on the website of the university. So in order to contact the professors, we will just try to share the link of our universities, and we will just highlight the professor's profile, and then you can go ahead with the professors on the website. So most of the universities have the professor list on the website itself.
Thank you.
Anybody want to ask something? Participants? Okay, I think we had a very good session. We should go ahead. This is not limited to this session only. We will be continuing our interaction in our Telegram group and Facebook page also. Everybody is encouraged, and we also request them that whoever is interested, they can join the Telegram and Facebook page. And also, this session will be recorded and will be available online in the YouTube. Those who have missed it, they can share to their friends and near dear ones. So with this, I request Dr. Iqbal Kaji, who is a postdoc in Hanyang University. He will give a vote of thanks to all our participants. Over to Dr. Kaji.
Yeah, thank you, Manas. Hello, everyone. My name is Iqbal Kaji. I am postdoc at Hanyang University, and also I am vice president for this ISRK association. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who participated this session, and I would like my special thanks to the speakers for today's session, Shika Dubey, Vipin Menon, and Nutan Shukla, and Prashant Sharma. So I think they all have talked about their universities and in general about how to approach for universities in Korea and how you can search for professors, and you can find the timeline when the university notification and everything. So from ISRK, I would like to welcome all of you to join our Telegram, Facebook, and our group. So we welcome every student who is looking for higher studies in Korea. So first, one point I want to stress, and all speakers today, they mostly they said that for getting admissions into Korea, you don't need any consulting agency or any agent. So like you can approach by yourself, prepare yourself, whatever today's speakers have said about preparation and how you can improve your CVs and make it strong and approach to universities and professors. So South Korea has a lot of universities. So today we had speakers from 4 universities. So you can approach more than 150 universities are there. You have to check for your research area and interest. So with that, I would like to say that we will be having next session on about GKS fellowship next weekend. So I would like you to join for our next session. And thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Kaji, for your nice words. Thank you, all the members, all the participants. We will be continuing our session as I told in the Facebook and Telegram page. And wishing you a very nice Sunday evening. Goodbye.
Don't close. Close.